You already know, boy, when it comes to this corruption shit, KFROG gonna speak on it. I'm gonna give you that real spill when it comes down to that shit about corruption. All these crooked officers and CEOs that get away with the shit they do to inmates. Today, I'm gonna be breaking it down and speaking to y'all on what they did to a female inmate down here in the state of Florida.
Hold down, man. Suitcase this, my cell phone and my charger. Don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, everybody? You already know, man, Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Place your bell on all and take it off of personalized, too, while you at it. All right, so you know when it comes to this corruption stuff, you know me, I like to speak on it. You know, I can't just sit back and watch it go down. But today I'm going to be speaking on this woman named CHERYL WEIMAR, okay? Which is a Florida inmate down here in the state of Florida. She actually got a lawsuit settlement against the state of Florida, which happens to be the biggest lawsuit that the state has ever had to pay in history, which is $4.6 million, okay? An incident occurred with her back in 2019, all right? And then now they're finally coming to agreements on how much she is going to be, you know, settled with, all right? Now, through this whole thing, you know, she was paralyzed from the waist down, from the neck down. She got her spine broke, her neck was broke, a bunch of other crazy things. And I'm going to be reading it all to you and breaking it down to you. You feel me? I know a lot of people heard of the Darren Rainey put an inmate inside the shower and burned him to death with the hot water. You feel me? Just to refresh y'all's mind about what happened to Darren Rainey at Dade CI down here in Florida. They threw him in that water and they burnt him alive. And this is what his autopsy pictures had looked like. Now, his family, you know, ended up going after the state and everything. And they actually, you know, won a lawsuit, too. And they settled for $4.5 million when that happened. Well, that right here makes Cheryl's, you know, higher because it's 4.6. Okay, so let me fall back real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and read it to y'all and break it down. You know, I'm going to read it to y'all, let y'all see what y'all think. CHERYL WEIMAR's name is known in prison, circles as an example of the few rights and little dignity inmates have in the Florida prison system. WEIMAR, 51, was brutally attacked by guards at Lowell Correctional Institution and paralyzed as a result. For the past year, WEIMAR has remained in prison, bound to a special hospital bed and dependent on catheters, mechanical breathing assistance, and tracheostomy feeding tubes, while her attorneys were building a federal civil rights lawsuit, okay, on her behalf. On Tuesday, WEIMAR's case was ordered closed. According to a settlement agreement provided to the Miami Herald by the Department of Financial Services, she will be paid $4.65 million, possibly the largest such settlement from the state of Florida. The family of Darren Rainey, the 50-year-old inmate with schizophrenia whose death in a rigged shower at Dade Correctional Institution led to sweeping reform settlement $4.5 million. A U.S. district judge signed an order Tuesday asking the clerk to close WEIMAR's case. The settlement agreement was signed by both parties on August 6. WEIMAR was scheduled to be released in October, but that release has been expedited. WEIMAR's neck and spinal cord were broken in August 2019, which happened while she was on prison work duty at Lowell Correctional Institution. Officers ordered her to get on her knees and scrub a toilet, but WEIMAR, who had a hip condition, complained that she was in pain and said she was unable to do the task. The officers became confrontational with WEIMAR after she declared a mental health emergency, therefore requiring medical personnel to get involved. The confrontation triggered a psychological episode requiring medical intervention, according to the lawsuit filed on her behalf. WEIMAR had been serving time since January 2016 on a domestic violence-related charge. She has a history of mental and physical disabilities. The officers allegedly slammed WEIMAR to the ground and beat her, breaking her neck, the lawsuit says, then dragged her like a rag doll across the prison as her head bounced on the hard ground. They continued to beat her in an area outside the video of surveillance cameras, the suit says. She was handcuffed throughout the attack, the suit says. A distraught prison nurse told the 911 dispatcher that an ambulance was needed immediately because Weimer was barely breathing. After initially being treated at a hospital and having surgery, Weimer was sent back to the Florida Women's Reception Center in Ocala, where she has been incarcerated since. The attack remains under investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Lawyer Ryan Andrews filed the federal civil rights lawsuit on the behalf of Weimer in September 2019. The suit was also brought by Weimer's husband, Carl, against the 4 involved officers as well as the State Department of Corrections. The road to the settlement has not been the smoothest. In October 2019, the Florida Department of Corrections allegedly tried to dodge the costs of her medical care by releasing her from their custody, according to a petition from her lawyers. The lawsuit said department representatives intimidate and coerced Weimer into signing documents she didn't understand and signing over her disability benefits. And more recently, Weimer was denied a COVID-19 test after being exposed. Her lawyers wrote in a motion in her existing case against the state. One of her assigned night nurses wrote in a sworn affidavit that security staff allowed the doors to negative pressure entryways connecting cells of COVID-positive inmates to be open for at least 45 minutes, exposing employees and inmates to the disease. Weimer's hospital bed is less than 50 feet from the door. CHERYL has had tragic things happen in her life that most people never experience, Andrews, her lawyer, said. She was to live the rest of her life in peace now. Thanks to the reasonable solution of this case, she can obtain the medical care she will need as a result of this horrific event. Only 2 of the officers involved were named in the pleadings, Keith Turner and Ryan Diani. Turner was arrested in November on charges of sexual battery and child molestation unrelated to Weimer's case. Over the years, he was promoted from officer to sergeant to lieutenant, despite a slew of accusations of harassing, kissing, and groping inmates and dousing them with chemicals, the Miami Herald reported. Diani has an arrest record describing an incident of domestic violence while off duty. He claimed self-defense, but was determined to be the aggressor and arrested. The case was dropped. Turner was dismissed from the department in November. Diani remains employed by the department. Okay, so as you see, it was a kind of, grimy situation how they did her, you feel me? She had hip problems, so she didn't want to get down and be scrubbing toilets or nothing like that. She screamed for a psychological emergency, and the outcome of it, they basically left her to where they couldn't even believe she was breathing, all right? Now, where she was at is Lowell CI, which is down here in Ocala, all right? Now, Lowell CI is a female institution, of course, and majority females that end up going there or whatnot, they actually come in contact with a different side of world that they've never seen before.
In Lowell Correctional Facility, it's legal prostitution. It's like a brothel. It's like a predator's playground.
We're prey. It's like a lion with a bunch of gazelles. I mean, it's a perfect breeding ground for sexual predators.
A lot of hatred in this prison, and it's not the inmates, it's the staff.
The staff at Lowell, there's at least 40% that are corrupt, that are not doing the right thing. Some of the corruption goes on from sex, drugs, money. There was just all kinds of corruption at Lowell. In June, while I was out for surgery, I decided that it was time for myself to leave Lowell because I was tired of seeing all the corruption. I was tired of dealing with it, telling supervisors every day and day and night that there's dirty staff at Lowell and that they're not doing anything about it.
Anya Yelvington spent 16 years at Lowell for a DUI manslaughter charge. a sentence that she says nearly cost her her life due to inadequate medical treatment in prison.
It's just totally inhumane. If you don't have a family member to fight your battles for you, you will die in the Department of Corrections because there is no medical. They do the least as possible. They will go to the lengths of letting you die or misdiagnose you to save the state money. In 2008, I felt a lump in my right breast. I went to medical, and because of my family history of breast cancer, I automatically wanted to have the biopsy. I felt the lump there. I had the lump 14 months before I ever got a biopsy. 14 months, and it went from a pea size to a golf ball size. It went from a 1 centimeter to a 2.5 centimeter, and it left my breast and went to my lymph nodes. He says, depending on treatment, you'll have 3 to 5 years to live. I'm sorry for that, having to tell you that, Ms. Yelvington.
Yelvington had a double mastectomy while serving her time that left her horribly mutilated. She says that while recovering from the surgery, she contracted an infection that nearly killed her.
Third world countries get better medical than we get. There is no medical. There is none, and there never will be, because we're just a number to society.
Whether it's drugs, prostitution, sexual activity, money, whatever it is, as you seen that officer who was a sergeant there, said out of his own mouth, you feel me? Not to mention the 2 officers who, put their hands on, this woman, CHERYL. As you see, they actually caught charges too before, and their charges didn't look that good as well. So hopefully when they go to prison for the things that they did, hopefully, they get taught the same type of shit and get the same kind of treatment from people who are just like them. All right. Now, the reason I wanted to speak on this is because I know for a fact, just from being in male adult prison, I know for a fact that they get away with so much. All right. And now to see it happen in the females, I could only imagine, because I've had officers literally tell me, I'll never side with an inmate. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be 100% right against an officer who came to work today with a damn chip on his shoulder because he's having problems on the streets with his family. He could be getting in an argument with his wife or whatever and come to work. He takes that shit to work with him. Gets, starts trying inmates and shit, and get into it with an inmate. The other inmate could just be, minding his own business and happen to fall upon that officer's trail that day. And, they bump heads, boom, 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 altercation break out. You could be 100% right. If you were an inmate, all the other officers are going to boot it up, escalate it, and make it to where it is a worse situation to where no matter what, you look wrong. Okay? So I know for a fact, they get away with this shit every single day, and it's never going to stop. Okay, my videos that I make aren't going to bring a stop to it, but I'm going to bring it out there every time just to make it known that we know. You feel me? It isn't like they're getting away with it, because Kfrogtv is going to speak on it every time, because I was once in there and I visioned it, went through it, got put in confinement for things I didn't even do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how it is. So to see them doing this to females also, it's just mind-blowing. You get what I'm saying? Because I know it's still a prison. You feel me? But this woman that this happened to in 2019, okay? She was in there since 2016 on a domestic, situation. Okay? And now look at her. She's paralyzed. Yeah, she's gonna get all this money or whatever out of it and all that. But that shit ain't gonna help her. I mean, it'll help you, but man, let's be real, bro. She's been on tubes. She's had tubes in her, catheters, all that shit, ever since that happened. All right, and they had to move her. You get what I'm saying? So it just shows that the state of Florida has got so much corruption. To me, I feel like they hire criminals that haven't been caught, low-key criminals, to discipline and to abuse criminals who've been caught. That's how I look at it. Because you're abusing these inmates and you feel like you're better than these inmates. Why? Because they got caught for crimes? Because they landed in prison, got put in bad situations to where this is where you would land at? This is what your reality is? But they're committing crimes while they're doing it. So they're no better than the inmates. You understand? Now, don't get me wrong. They're not all corrupted. Okay? There's some in there that literally take their job for real and they go by the books. You feel me? And then you got good corrupted officers, which is, those are the ones that are going to shake something and try to make money and do what they got to do. But me, I speak on the corrupted bad officers, all right? Now, the ones that want to beat inmates, put you in confinement until you heal up. You know what I'm saying? Stop your mail from going in and out. Your loved ones call up there, all they tell him is he's in confinement. Oh, I want to check up on my son. He usually calls me. If I don't hear from him in 24 hours, I know something's wrong. Well, ma'am, all I can tell you is he's in confinement right now. Why is he in there? I'm not sure, ma'am. You're going to have to call back next shift. Okay, call back next shift. Yeah, I want to know. And whatever that DRs they placed on you, they're going to transfer your call straight to the captain. And the captain's in on the whole shit that's going on with you. He's going to do whatever to protect his homies. Just like an inmate will do whatever to protect their homeboys against the guards. The guards are going to do whatever to protect their officers against the families. You feel me? Oh, yeah, ma'am. Nah, he got caught with a cell phone and a knife. Oh, yeah, for real? Yeah, man, he tried to attack one of my officers with a knife when we were going to restrain him for the things he got caught with. Nuh-uh. And the next thing you know, that's what your mom thinks you're back there for. And through it all, they found some shit in the open bay bathroom when there's 90 other people that have access to it. They came in, they went to rough you up. You feel me? They went to roughing people up. They found someone to put it on. All you did was be like, why the hell you gonna put that on that man? That man wasn't even in that bathroom. You stood up for him that they were trying to put it on. Now you're going to confinement for saying something. They put it on you. And now they make it look like, you know, the reason you're all banged up and beat up when really you just put them in their place and basically checked them. Now they beat y'all up, had y'all banged up. They don't want your family to know. But just in case your family finds out, just in case a letter slips through the mail, you know, just in case you end up getting it out there, the message somehow, whether you reach out and send a kite to the compound, make them hit your peoples up, tell them what it is, no matter what it is, they'll have their trail covered. That's why they told your mom in the first place, yeah, he tried to attack one of my officers with a knife. Your mom looking at it like, what you mean? That don't make sense. But she ain't thinking about it because it's prison. You feel me? So now, back to this lady, okay? She didn't have that much time to do. You feel me? She was in there for her little, you know, her bid or whatever. Took 3 years. From 16 to 2019. She was in there 3 years. Paralyzed from the damn neck down. You feel me? And this shit ain't never gonna stop. I know it ain't gonna stop. Because the things I know that the officers get away in the adult male sides, I could just imagine how much advantages they take of the women inside the female institutions. Forcing them to do things they don't want to do, rubbing all up on them, telling them, look, this is what it is, you feel me? Or I'll get you up out of here, you go into confinement. You know, things like that. There's a reason why you never hear of cell phones in female prisons. That shit is secured to where there ain't no phones. There is no cell phones coming in there like that. It ain't like it is on the adult male side. But why can't females make it happen for some reason? Because they got it so strictly to where your ass ain't getting nothing in there. And that's what it is, man. These officers be taking advantage of these women, blowing them up, getting them pregnant, shit like that. Female inmates in there getting pregnant by someone. Next thing you know, they're going to ship the female. That's all they're going to do. They're going to ship her while she's pregnant. They're not going to really say nothing. Obviously, it was a guard who got her preggo. Who else would it have been? You feel me? Now she's with it. She's with it. It is what it is. But a lot of times, I already know how crooked people are, because like I said, they hire crooked people. You feel me? Anyone can literally go online and sign to be a Florida Department of Corrections officer and get the damn job like that. It don't take no training. It don't take no damn special ed or nothing like that. Anything, basically. You feel me? You just happen to be the damn number they pull out the hat. Yeah, you want a job? Here's your uniform. All right. Because I've seen officers who got hired when I was in Charlotte, CI, and at Calhoun, DeSoto. I seen the same shit at all three of these camps. They ended up, when they first get hired, they're a TA. That's what they are at first. They're a TA. And they're trying to work their way over to get their little badge to where now they are a CO, a correctional officer. Then after that, you know, the higher ones who tells them what to do is the sergeants. You feel me? I've literally seen a TA be brand new, come through for training. You know, they got to follow the officer around like their damn shadow while the officer does master roster count, regular counts, teaching their shadow, the person that's holding their pocket, how to work their job. They're walking, they're learning everything. They're getting brought through all the dorms with the officers. Officers are pointing at things, telling them what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what inmates are allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, you know, training them and shit. And then next thing you know, within 60 days, that person's got a badge. Boop, he's an officer now. He's a correctional officer. Guess what? Within 30 days again, boop, now he's a sergeant. Now he has officers in the dorm, because you usually have a sarge that works the dorm along with an officer or another officer. Okay? If there ain't a sarge, you'll have a officer, and he might have 2 TAs in there, which they usually come in packs where they're training together. You feel me? But I've walked inside the property room and had them go through all my shit and flip all my stuff, talking about, oh, hey, ink slinger, you're an ink slinger, right? You slang ink, right? Where's all your needles at? If I got to go through all your shit and find it, you go into confinement. I told him, listen, man, it is what it is. You want to call me an ink slinger? What? Because all my tattoo and DRs and everything and all the ink I got on me? You feel me? He's like, all right, don't worry. I guarantee we find it. And you know what he did? He had 7 TAs that were training sitting at a table in front of all of us inmates that just came there. Sitting at a table with like 6 boxes of Little Caesars pizza. These TAs are sitting there clowning, ripping up everyone's shit. These sergeants are teaching them how to rip your stuff, go all through it. Oh, you're not allowed to have more than 50 pictures. Let's get rid of that. And, you know, shredding our shit. And I'm looking at them like, man, they think they the shit because they got 6 $5 boxes of pizza. Like, man, be real. Like, because, yeah, we can't eat that because we in prison. We understand you got something right now we don't have. Even though, shit, we can go to Canteen and buy a pizza for $2. A little damn French bread pizza. You feel me? We can get pizza too. But they felt like they was top of the line. You know what I'm saying? And went to ripping our shit up. They didn't know no better. They were just doing what they were taught to do on duty. You feel me? They take that shit as a game. They take your personal belongings as a game. They take every single thing as a game. What if I was in a violent stage at that moment? What if I had a razor blade on me? And these TAs don't know no better. They're feeling all comfortable and shit, acting all out in the open. And what if I just decided to come across one of their face and rip their shit wide open? Then what? You're dealing with people that are considered a threat, but they take it as a joke. And then they get away with a lot of corruption. Because if you look at it, a lot of times that they get away with the corruption, 9 times out of 10, it isn't against someone who was a threat. It's someone they know wasn't a threat. Or someone that had a disability. Someone they felt like they can get over on. Someone that they felt like they can cover it up even easier. That's the type of people they 9 times out of 10 are going to go against. Now, if they get into it with someone who is living like that, someone who is a threat, then all of them going to come, the whole squad, the rapid response team going to come in there looking like the Ninja Turtles with their damn shock shield and their damn fucking helmet on and their damn padded up suits looking like the Ninja Turtles coming in there. When they come in there like that squad, you see 25 to 30 officers jump on one dude who was considered a threat, you may never see him again. You may never even see him again. And they'll make it known on the compound. They'll try to make it to where you don't even know they killed that man. They'll try to make it look like he just got transferred. You won't even know because they don't want tension to rise and everyone started acting out and everything over the situation. Why? Because they're good at covering shit up. That's what they do. You feel me? And now look at their ass. $4.6 million lawsuit. A female inmate. You feel me? I mean, to them, that ain't nothing though. That's crumbs. You get what I'm saying? That is crumbs. But if they didn't have such piece of shit officers like that, they wouldn't have to come out the pocket like that. And they're not going to miss that. They don't even notice it. Shoot, yeah, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? But nothing is going to be fixed about what was wrong. If everyone could just, to make problems go away, no one would be in prison, if you ask me. If anyone could just purchase a murder charge, yeah, here you go. I'm sorry I killed that dude. There you go. There's $1 million, $2 million. Then I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are in prison want to be in prison. But why is it okay when the government does it? Why is it okay that they get these corrupted situations to occur and it goes down, and then when an officer does something, they'll suspend them with pay. They'll suspend them with pay or make him resign, take his job. Sometimes they'll put him in jail, but it isn't as long as if that inmate would have did it to the officer, or if that inmate would have did it to someone on the streets. If a civilian did it to someone on the streets, man, they gonna get hung in that courtroom by that judge. But when it has anything to do with on the other side of the law doing it, man, that shit gets swept under the rug, man. Like some loose change you see on the ground, you don't feel like picking up, just sweep that shit. That's what it's like. You feel me? And I'm tired of seeing it. Like I said, I seen it firsthand with my own damn eyes. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully one day this shit comes to an end, which to me, I feel like it never will. There will always be a fucking bad grape in the bag. That's simple. I don't give a damn what institution it is, whether it is the male institutions or the female institutions, you are going to have crooked officers. Like that damn sergeant said in that video clip, over 40% of them are crooked at that one camp. And that's what it is. To me, do I feel like, oh, the crooked ones, the ones that are corrupted, that, you know, are in it for the money? Not the ones that are abusing people, but the ones that are, you know, selling cigarettes or bringing in things for people, cell phones and stuff like that. Do I feel like they should get in trouble too? Yeah, of course they should. They're corrupted. That's bad. That's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. But I'll pick one of them over one of the corrupted ones that beat inmates and get away with it any day. I'd rather be at a camp, and I'm pretty sure anyone watching this video rather be at a camp where you have, out of 50 officers, you have 48 of them that'll bring in cell phones, bring in cigarettes, rather than out of 50 of them, there be 25 of them that are corrupted in the abusive way. Straight up. Because I've been at camps where you'll have only five officers that are known for dragging inmates, knocking their teeth out. They want to collect their golds like a trophy if you got golds in your mouth. That's why a lot of these clowns better not go to prison with no pullouts. They know they want it. They know they take them out, put them in their property, and try to put the stamps on it to mail that shit home. Hopefully they still got the pullouts when they come home, because they know they ain't going to try to sneak them in, because them shit's going to get knocked out. Why get your real teeth knocked out about some bullshit plates? You feel me? But if I could do something to change this corruption, I would. If my voice was big enough to make a difference, I would. And I'm going to keep speaking on it until it does something. That's simple. I don't care if I go back to prison one day and them officers have a hit on my head, because 9 times out of 10, that's what it's going to be. But Frog going to come on here and I'm going to speak on this corrupted shit. You feel me? Because I'd rather fall for something than to stand for nothing. I'm not going to sit here and just act like, oh, I didn't see it. In prison, of course, you keep your mouth shut. You don't speak on the shit in prison. But let's be real. But now I'm out here and I have a voice, and I have it to where I can bring a lot of crookedness to the limelight. Man, Frog gonna be on here getting that shit to y'all real spill. And that's what it is, man. Prayers for the lady CHERYL. Prayers for everybody else who had to go through this shit, or anyone who may go through it in the future. But I already know, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Till next time, it's Frog.